women over 40 shouldn't do intense workouts, or don't lift too heavy, or don't do HIIT, don't run. Those workouts will spike your cortisol, and cortisol is making you gain belly fat. And suddenly you're wondering, wait, oh no, is my workout making me unhealthy? Yes, exercise can temporarily increase cortisol, but that doesn't automatically mean something bad is happening to your body. That is a normal physiological response. It does not automatically mean your workout is damaging your hormones. When did we start teaching people, in particular women, that challenging their bodies was something they should be afraid of? Maybe the question isn't, will this workout raise my cortisol? Maybe the better question is this workout appropriate for me? And am I recovering from it? Your body is not so fragile that a challenging workout is automatically a hormonal emergency. All right, welcome back. Bienvenidos. Hey everyone. Welcome back to the Vanessa Carlson Fitness Podcast. This is episode 15. Now, I was initially going to talk about one topic, but I've changed my mind, and that's okay. I'm Dr. Vanessa Carlson, physical therapist and founder of Vanessa Carlson Fitness, where we help busy women become stronger, healthier, and more confident 1% each day without spending hours in the gym. So, question for you, you motivated listeners. Have you ever been scrolling through social media, and this is why I decided to change the topic for today, and heard something like women over 40 shouldn't do intense workouts? Or maybe that's a conversation you've had. Or don't lift too heavy. Or don't do HIIT, don't run. Those workouts will spike your cortisol. And cortisol is making you gain belly fat. How about them apples, right? And suddenly you're wondering, wait, oh no, is my workout making me unhealthy? Ladies, come on, let's talk. We need to talk about this because yes, exercise can temporarily increase cortisol, but that doesn't automatically mean something bad is happening to your body. And I certainly don't want women becoming afraid of challenging themselves, which is why I wanted to chat about this today. Just because of being afraid, just because of something they heard on social media or on TikTok in a 30-second video, right? Today, we're going to talk about cortisol, what actually happens when you exercise, and whether women over 40 really need to be afraid of working hard. All right, guys. But before we get into the science, I do have a question for you. I want to know something that maybe you have been told, that a certain kind of exercise was bad for women over 40. And I do have a little preference in this number because I'm in that bracket. So have you heard of something that was bad for women over 40 because it would spike up your cortisol? Was it running? Was it HIIT? Was it heavy lifting? Maybe someone told you you should only walk, only do gentle exercise. Tell me in the comments, because I generally want to know how many women have heard this, because if you heard it, you're definitely not alone, okay? Even back when I had my gyms, we had 2 women's gyms. We even had a co-ed gym over the span of 10 years. And I remember just women having these conversations, things that they were seeing online. All right, guys. All right, ladies. Vámonos. Let's dive in. First, what exactly is cortisol, right? What is cortisol? it seems to be a hot topic. Cortisol is a hormone produced by your adrenal glands, right? And despite what you may have heard, cortisol is not a bad hormone. You need cortisol. It plays a role, especially in your body's stress response, your metabolism, your blood pressure, your immune system, and helping make energy available, right? It's all about the energy. When your body needs it, so the goal isn't how do I eliminate cortisol? And I feel like that's what's happening. They're like, cortisol, bad, 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 bad. And it shouldn't be, how do I eliminate cortisol? You don't want to eliminate it. Your body needs it. Now, here's where the confusion starts, I think. Exercise, yes, is a form of stress. And that sounds bad. I feel like the character from The Cruise. Bad, 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 bad. But it does sound bad until you understand that not all stress is harmful. When you challenge your body responds. Your heart rate increases, your breathing increases, your muscles are working harder, and depending on the intensity and duration, cortisol can temporarily increase too. That is normal. A normal physiological response. Repeat after me. That is a normal physiological response. It does not automatically mean your workout is damaging your hormones. I've had women, even friends, who became genuinely nervous and stressed out about their workouts, about working hard. And they'll tell me, Vanessa, I heard I shouldn't do intense exercise anymore because I'm over 40. Or I heard heavy lifting is going to raise my cortisol. And I understand why they're confused. We're in the information era. There's a lot of information out there. Because when you hear the same message over and over, you start wondering if there's something you should be afraid of. But I don't want fear, false evidence appearing real, determining how you move your body. I want there to be education and appropriate exercise to determine how you move your body. Education and appropriate exercise to help you to determine, right? We want to learn how to determine how to move your body. Here's the distinction. Here's what I want you to pay attention to. Here's the distinction. I want you to understand that there's a difference between your body's normal short-term response to exercise and living in a state where you're chronically overwhelmed, right? Even just saying that, I feel like I need to take a deep breath, right? So there's a difference between exercise, living in a short state response, versus where you're living in a state where you're chronically overwhelmed and you're not recovering well. I also know the difference because I actually experienced this firsthand for myself. And exercise helped me during this time to de-stress, but also addressing the situation and the person that was causing this ongoing stress needed to be addressed so that things could change, right? So that's just a little personal experience. My state during my workouts versus the situation and season that I was experiencing, those are two separate conversations. They're not the same conversation. They're not. And that's what I want to relate to you. Those are not the same conversation. So I have another question for you. Let me ask you something. When did we start teaching people, in particular women, that challenging their bodies was something they should be afraid of? Where did this come from, right? Don't misunderstand. I am not against low tempo workouts. They are needed at times. Shoot, Mat Pilates and Reformer Pilates is what got me started teaching group exercise 20 plus years ago in Pennsylvania. If you're appropriately prepared, if the exercise is appropriate, right? The intensity, the duration for your health and fitness level, and if you're recovering and you're progressing intelligently, why should turning 40 suddenly mean you're incapable of working hard? Maybe the question isn't, will this workout raise my cortisol? Maybe the better question is this workout appropriate for me? And am I recovering from it? That's a much better conversation. And this is where individualization matters, right? I get so many phone calls from people all over the US. We do one-on-one Zoom training, virtual live coaching, and it really depends. And that's why I really encourage people to take advantage of our $1 Reach and Rise assessment, where we have that initial consult so I can really understand the season of life they're in, what they've experienced before, their medical history, what are their goals, what are their time constraints, what are the stresses in their life. All of that matters. Individualization matters. Say that word 10 times. Because I'm also not saying everybody should go out tomorrow and do the hardest workout ever, right? That doesn't make sense. They should not, I'm not saying that, to go do the hardest workout that you can possibly find. Please don't do that. Your training history matters. Your current fitness level matters. And when I do that Reach and Rise assessment, I'm trying to figure out, come along with you, see what is your foundation? What's our baseline look like? Previous injuries matters. Your sleep matters. Your overall health matters. Your medications may matter as well. And most likely they do, how they affect your body. And your ability to recover matters. I have a client now who is 65 and at times lives in Florida and at times lives in Maine. And she has worked out with various trainers. She's had other trainers, and we are now nearing our 3rd month working out together. And she recently told me that she's feeling stronger in all the right areas. Woohoo! This is huge, right? In all the right places. And she said something along the lines of, I like that we're also working the finite muscles as well as mixing in other things besides lifting, right? And I asked her to just elaborate, like, what does she mean by like she's feeling strong in all the right places and that we're working more the finite muscles? And she explained that with her previous trainer and her previous experience, sometimes the sessions were so intense that it would take her days to recover and she would actually hurt. Like her body would hurt. So what's my point? Exercise should challenge you, but appropriately. And that's very different from simply trying to just destroy yourself every workout. Okay, so let's talk about strength training, because this is one area where I really don't want women becoming afraid, right? I've seen it, especially when we had our women's gyms. Women in their middle age or retired and just scared to lift, whether it's with a machine, a cable, a free weight, a kettlebell. As we get older, maintaining strength and muscle becomes incredibly important. I want to almost slam the table. Maintaining muscle becomes incredibly important. Strength training can help us maintain muscle, support your bone health, improve your balance, improve physical function, right? Going up and down the stairs, carrying your groceries, and continue doing the activities that you love. So when a woman stops challenging her muscles because she's afraid that lifting weights might temporarily raise cortisol, I think we're missing the bigger picture. I've worked with women who initially thought they needed to be careful simply because of their age. Then we started strength training appropriately, right? Give your body what it needs and it will take you places. So we made sure that it was appropriate. We were The workouts were appropriate, progressive, right? We were progressively changing things. We were safe. Maybe we modified certain movements. Maybe we started lighter. Maybe we changed the range of motion. Maybe we gave them more recovery. Everyone's body is so different. It's figuring out what they need, meeting them where they're at, and just one workout at a time, right? And gradually they became stronger, whether they were in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. They even had a gal in her 80s, right? Something that used to be heavy became easier. Stairs became easier. Carrying groceries became easier. Travel, seeing their family, their loved ones, their friends became easier. Life became easier and they felt good. Don't you want to feel good, right? That's what I don't want women missing out on. Now, could you overdo exercise? Absolutely, right? If you're constantly training extremely hard, not sleeping, not eating enough, never recovering, and constantly feeling exhausted, that's worth paying attention to. Of course, you can have the adverse effects that we don't want. But the answer isn't necessarily women over 40 shouldn't exercise intensely. The answer may be we need to look at the whole picture, right? Your training and your environment, recovery, nutrition, sleep, stress, and your individual health. When I'm working out with people, I'm looking at what do they have resources to so that their workouts are simple, doable, and fun. Because if they're stressing out and it's not simple and it's not doable, they're not going to do it. So you have to look at the whole picture. And also remember, your body is not so fragile that a challenging workout is automatically a hormonal emergency. I gotta tell you. But your body is also not a machine, right? Not a machina that you should constantly run it into the ground. There's a balance, challenge and recovery. That's how we become stronger. I always tell my clients, recovery is where the magic happened. I had to learn that firsthand when I did my physique show to give my body the rest it needed so it can break down, right, fat, build the muscle, and recover. So can I encourage you? Getting older doesn't mean you have to become afraid of your body or afraid of this number. Your body is incredibly adaptable. It can learn. You say that. My body can learn. It can respond. My body can respond well. It can become stronger. Yes, my body can become stronger. And yes, sometimes we need modifications. That's okay. Modifying an exercise is more than okay. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're training intelligently. Let's be smart, right? Let's work smarter, not just harder. Working hard is not bad, but let's be smart about it. And ladies, there's something else I really want you to hear. Intensity is relative, right? What's intense for one woman may be easy for another. A brisk walk may be appropriately challenging for someone just beginning, right? Who's really not walking. For another woman, it might be a heavy set of squats. For someone else, it could be intervals on a bike. That's why blanket statements like women over 40 should never do intense exercise. Guys, it doesn't tell the whole story. We need to look at the individual. That's why when I meet with people one-on-one via our Zoom live sessions, it's so crucial for me to get to know them and understand their baseline, their environment, their history. So my goal for each of my clients and everyone I work with is to meet them where they're at, to get them to where they want to be, right? Think about two women who are both about 50 years old. One has been strength training for 20 years, let's say. The other hasn't exercised in 10 years. Should they do the exact workout? Of course not. I mean, yeah, okay, they're the same age. So what? But they're not the same person, right? They don't have the same background. They're not at the same level. They're the same age, but they're not the same person. That's why your program should be based on you, not simply the number. Don't worry about the number on your birthday cake, right? So here's my final question for you. What is something you've stopped doing because someone made you believe, or something made you believe you were too old for it? Was it lifting heavy, running, jumping, a HIIT workout, playing a sport, trying something new? Or maybe you simply started being afraid to push yourself. If you're comfortable sharing, tell me in the comments below, what would you love to feel confident doing again? The answer isn't that you can never do it. Maybe you simply need the right progression, the right guidance to get there. Here's your challenge this week. I want you to stop asking, is this exercise going to spike my cortisol? And start asking better questions. Is this appropriate for my current fitness level? And am I progressing gradually? Am I recovering? Am I sleeping? Am I nourishing my body? Do I feel stronger over time? Or am I feeling beat up and I can't get back to it another week, right? If you're not sure, work with a qualified healthcare or fitness professional who can help you make those decisions. Don't feel like you have to do it by yourself. Nobody comes out of the womb knowing these things, right? Don't let fear-based information make the decision for you. Guys, I truly, truly believe God created our bodies with an incredible ability to adapt, to move, and to grow and become stronger. Getting older is a gift. I'm going to say that again. Getting older is a gift. It's not a punishment. And I don't want fear keeping you from using the body God has given you. Train wisely. Recover. Listen to your body. Ask for help when you need it. And don't assume that your strongest days have been behind you. Gosh, how depressing is that? My goodness. All right, so if today's episode made you think, share it with another woman who's maybe become a little afraid of challenging herself because of something she heard about cortisol, or maybe it's just information in general. It's like information overload. She may need to hear that there's more to the story. And if you're thinking, I want to get stronger, but I'm not sure where to start, what exercises are appropriate for me, that's exactly the kind of thing I help women with, because what we do at VC Fitness is so unique with our personal training and live virtual coaching. We offer the initial consult for our Reach and Rise assessment for only $1. It's only $1. If it works out, great. And if not, it only costs you $1 and you get some valuable information. I love to walk alongside you. Just visit vanessacarlson.com to learn more about our one-on-one coaching, live virtual training, and supportive community. Or you can reach out to us at 207-467-5509. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. And if these episodes are encouraging you and helping you become healthier, I'd love to have you join us. Consider subscribing so you don't miss future conversations. Definitely share with a friend so that they can also hear the future conversations that we release. We release new episodes every weekday, and I'd love to continue this journey with you. All right, guys, until next time, keep moving, keep smiling, keep getting stronger. And remember, your body isn't something you need to be afraid of. Challenge it wisely. Give it time. Be patient to recover. Never assume you're too old to become stronger. God bless you. Mwah. And I'll see you in the next episode. And we're going to talk about why you keep starting over every Monday. All right, guys, until next time, ciao for now.